Hello, everybody. I am Meg Horn, a travel sales manager here at AAA Northeast. I am joined by my colleague, Stacy Crowley. First off, thank you guys again so much this afternoon. We're so excited to have you all here and talk to some industry leaders in our favorite region, the Caribbean. I know we're all looking forward to our next opportunity to have our toes in the white sand and relax on an amazing resort with a, fruity beverage in our hand. But today we are partners, the Caribbean Hotel and Tours Association, as well as Jamaica Tourist Board. We'll learn about their reopening strategies and what travelers can expect in the upcoming months and into 2021. Here at AAA Northeast, safety and advocacy are pillars of our brand. And now more than ever, we want to ensure that our travelers have all of the resources and support they need to travel confidently when the time is right for them. This is why we created the Travel Center, a simple and central resource to keep members informed on changes and updates in the travel industry. Our agents are all in the process of becoming Smart Depart certified. Smart Depart certification means that our agents are poised and ready to assist and support our members with their travel plans in our new landscape. Using a travel agent is more important than ever these days, and a Smart Depart certified agent can help secure your travel plans with the peace of mind that's needed in today's world. Before we get started, I just wanted to review a few housekeeping tips with all of you. All the participants are currently muted, but we'd obviously love to hear from you. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to pop those into the chat box and we'll be happy to answer those. The session is being recorded as well, so if you'd like to check back on the website later this week, just in case you missed anything or want to take another peek, that'll be there. In the next network can be found at aaa.com/travel center. So with that being said, we are joined by leading industry experts, and I can't wait to see how each of these partners can make your Caribbean dream come true. Vanessa, who is the Chief Operations Officer of the Caribbean Hotel and Tours Association, and she is joined by Matthew and Victoria, both Business Development Managers for the Jamaica Tourist Board. Let's dive right in. Vanessa, what can AAA members look forward to when visiting the Caribbean?
Thank you, Megan, and we are certainly want to thank AAA for inviting us to this forum and facilitating an opportunity to share with all of your members what the Caribbean has been doing and how have we been gearing up for once again welcoming visitors to our shores so that we can experience the beautiful warmth of the Caribbean. The Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association is the advocate and representative of the private hospitality sector. Our work for over 55 years has been driven by a core set of principles: capacity building, regional marketing, sustainable growth, and situational analysis. If we can move to the next slide, please. And this work is supported by our Federation of National Hotel and Tourism Associations across our 33 member destinations. Yes, for CHTA, our footprint is inclusive of 33 destinations, including all the way to the north, Bermuda, all the way to the south, Cartagena, Colombia, Guyana, Suriname, and to the west, Belize and Cancun. So we definitely have an extended reach into everything that touches and borders the Caribbean Sea. We can move to the next slide, please. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, the travel and tourism sector experienced a 3.5% growth in 2018, outpacing the global economy growth of 2.5% for the 9th consecutive year. So travel and tourism continues to be one of the growest and fastest industries in the world. And you could be thinking, why are we seeing a slide with a bunch of percentages and figures? And it is just to highlight the framework of the importance of tourism to our region. The Caribbean had been on a trend line of nearly 10 years of unprecedented growth in tourism. Last year, we returned to record numbers of visitor arrivals. We had over 30 million stopovers. The half dozen destinations that were impacted in 2017 by the twin hurricanes were just returning the corner and coming back to normal with new and refreshed hotel properties as they actually recover quicker than what expected. And when we started 2020, over 30,000 new hotel rooms were in the construction. and planning stages, and most hotels were reporting a very robust January and February. If we can move to the next slide, please. The Caribbean is one of the most dependent tourism regions in the world. 9 out of 10 countries most dependent on tourism for employment are in the Caribbean. Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, St. Martin, British Virgin Islands, Anguilla, Bahamas, St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbuda, and Barbados. And 7 of these countries depend on tourism for GDP. What you see in front of you is an estimated impact to date of COVID in our region based on data that we collected in a member survey back in April. And $6 billion estimated loss only between March and May. So you can imagine that figure has increased since then. And then the more dire impact as well has been the temporary job losses related to tourism. And again, 1 million was estimated. And the longer that it takes for us to open our shores and be able to take tourists back, that figure increases more. And we definitely commend the governments of the region because even though there was considerable impact due to the quick closing of the borders, definitely these measures were instrumental in containing the spread of the virus and also help us hopefully seeing an earlier recovery than most. If we can move to the next slide, please. And as Albert Einstein said, in the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. The region for a number of years has been working from one crisis to the other. And one of the things that certainly is very common to Caribbean is we are a very resilient region. For a number of years, we've been dealing with crises, be it weather-related. We had Zika a number of years ago, but of course, nothing could compare to what we're currently experiencing with COVID. If we can go back to the previous slide, please. These are some of the things that the Caribbean has been doing, and particularly CHTA as the advocate and representative of the private hospitality sector. About 5 years ago, we started a relationship with an organization called the Caribbean Public Health Agency. And it is an agency, as its name says, that handles and manages everything that is health related. But the interesting fact here was the correlation between health and tourism, because if there was any challenge from a health perspective, of course, tourism would be impacted, considering the importance that it is to the economies of all of the region. Back in February 4th, we had our first specific webinar related to COVID. So we were a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of training our industry representatives, talking to governments about it through our network of national hotel and tourism associations as well, trying to determine some of the resources that were needed. We also are part of a Caribbean COVID-19 task force that is specific to tourism, which is inclusive of our organization, our equivalent for the public sector, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the Organization of Eastern American States, and the Global Resilience and Crisis Management Center out of Jamaica. We've done a number of webinars and trainings that have reached over thousands of industry professionals representing over 500 to almost 700 hotels in the region, as well as their respective individuals. And one of the proudest works that we have completed last month was the development and launch of the regional guidelines for reopening of Caribbean tourism and travel. These were a collaborative effort between all of the organizations, the regional organizations that represent tourism. But very important, these are the only guidelines in the world that are endorsed and were developed with the backing of a health agency, in this part being CARFA as the agency in the region. We've also launched a number of a tourism health safety training series that we actually just completed last week. We had about 6 specific topics that covered anything from health and safety in the public areas, housekeeping, laundry, food and beverage, you name it. anything that touches the continuum of the experience of the traveler was covered in this initial set of training series, including an overview of COVID from a health perspective and all of the particulars. And again, over thousands have been going through this training exercise, and we are currently in evaluation of the next series that will be launching around the time of September. We've also, along with CARFA, are working all of these trainings and certifications and monitoring, because that's also very important, are cornerstones for CARFA's recognition that has been developed of a Caribbean Traveler Health Assurance Stamp, which is the logo that you see here in center, the Healthier, Safer Tourism, which has the objective of acknowledging destinations and businesses that promote healthier and safer tourism destinations. Destinations and businesses have also developed their own individual set of protocols. And what we're trying to do with these regional protocols is provide further guidance to supplement those that have been developed by the individual businesses and destinations. If we can move to the next slide, please. As you are planning your next trip to the Caribbean, and we hope that you are, we encourage you to familiarize yourself with the protocols and the requirements of your desired destination. Almost all of the destinations have incorporated iconic characters and their culture into their protocols and how they are communicating it. For example, what you see in front of you is the USVI Department of Tourism. If you've ever been in the USVI, you know that Mocha Jumbies are one of their iconic characters. And they've included them in their protocols and how they are sharing that information to not only the travelers, but also to the citizens from the destination. You will be soon hearing from Jamaica, a trailblazer destination in the region, making sure that travelers continue to experience the beat and rhythm that characterizes that destination. Next slide, please. We have a resource for you as a consumer. CaribbeanTravel.com is our consumer website that gives you access and insight in just one location of our 33 member destinations, and it includes information on destinations as well as properties and attractions to help you navigate through our diverse offerings. We are also including on CaribbeanTravel.com access to our Caribbean Travel Update, which includes travel advisories that are updated to the minute daily that will provide you an overview of all of the protocols and guidelines that each one of the destinations that has opened or is in the process of opening has available. And we strongly recommend that if you have not met CaribbeanTravel.com, that you join us and follow us as well in our social media channels, where we continuously share information and news from across the region. Next slide. I thought it would be valuable to AAA members to have a little bit of an idea of what is currently open and some of the opening dates that have been already announced. With COVID, everything is fluid, so we strongly recommend that as you plan your future trip in the next few months or even through next year, that you visit the website of the individual destinations so that you familiarize yourself with the requirements and protocols that you would be required and need to understand as you travel to these destinations in the region. If we can move to the next slide, please. And as we take time to explore, wonder, and dream, the diversity of the Caribbean is unparalleled to any other region. But more importantly, you will not find anywhere else the warmth of our people. On behalf of our member destinations, over 550 member hotels, 250 allied members, we want to remind you that there is no better place to refresh, renew, and heal one's mind, body, and spirit than the Caribbean. Life needs the Caribbean. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. That was some awesome information. And just a quick reminder, guys, there is going to be a Q&A session at the end. My colleague Stacy is kind of monitoring right now that Q&A session and keeping track of those for us. But with that said, now let's hear from our friends who are the heartbeat of the world, Matthew and Victoria. What can AAA members look forward to when visiting Jamaica? Matthew, I think you're actually muted, my dear.
I keep doing that, don't I? I'm sorry.
All good.
Thanks, Megan, and really, thanks to Vanessa also for that presentation. Life does need the Caribbean. I am glad that, I want to concur with Vanessa that the Caribbean is the place to be. And, Vanessa said, the Caribbean, Jamaica is a trailblazing destination within the Caribbean. I want to thank you for that, Vanessa. And another point that we have been through many challenges over the years. And we as a group, we and our travel partners, Jamaica has always had that strong team and support with our travel partners throughout all these challenges. Jamaica started tourism officially in 1891. So you'll realize that over that time, we would have seen many events, some of them negative. But together, as partners, we have weathered those storms and we have always come out more resilient, stronger, and serving the tourism industry in a really more superb way. And so this challenge also, we will ride it, we will be better for it, and certainly at the end, a stronger industry. And so I just want to say to us that Jamaica has not changed. Yes, we have a pandemic out, but it has not affected the physical beauty of the country. And as we turn to the next slide, you will see that Jamaica remains the place where you can expect to have really world-renowned music. You can expect to find foods, flavors of the Caribbean that really excites the palate. You can expect to find fabulous beaches. You can expect to be in a destination and just feel the joy of an atmosphere. And certainly, romance is always in the air in Jamaica. So as your clients head to the Caribbean, we suggest that you send them to Jamaica. Send them for an escape from the challenging times that they're experiencing now. Send them for fabulous beaches, for wonderful food. Send them for that hint and mystery of romance. And certainly send them for the mystique of our music that keeps them moving. The next slide gives us just a sense of where Jamaica is in the Caribbean. Jamaica is not just in our hearts, it is in the heart of the Caribbean. It is the heartbeat of the world. And it's a place that at this time, you really want to think about going. Because getting to Jamaica is so much easier. As we flip to the next slide, you'll realize that Jamaica has flights from whichever gateway that you're intending to fly out of. You have direct flights. If you're depending on where you are, I live in Maine. So I know we head into Boston, we have the directs out on Saturday on JetBlue, but you do have the American Airlines, you do have Southwest, you have United, and if there's an airline serving any gateway that you intend to fly out of, whether direct flights are really good connections that take you into Jamaica. Flight time is really short, most taking you under 5 hours. And as you get into Jamaica, you can expect the moment you get within Jamaica's airspace, you begin to feel the relief, you begin to feel the relaxation, you begin to feel the escape. You begin to feel the air of a destination that welcomes you and wants to have you with us. The next slide really tells us that there are a number of areas you can stay in Jamaica. Jamaica has 6 distinct resort areas. Right now, not all resort areas are accessible, but as the protocols have evolved, as the situation becomes better, then more and more access will be had. But now you can stay in Jamaica, and as we get further on, Victoria will tell you about the resilient corridor and the requirements to stay in Jamaica and how easy it is. But just to let you know, there are 6 distinct resort areas, and as the situation evolves, I'm sure more and more we will have persons exploring all 6. You'll find that it's a different taste. It is an experience for even the most discriminating. And so you and your clients will love every aspect of Jamaica, regardless of the resort area that they stay in. Our next slide really just looks at the fact that, look on the resort area of Montego Bay. And for most clients flying into Jamaica, they'll get into Montego Bay. Our international airport, the Sangster International Airport, is in Montego Bay. And of course, we have a number of hotels which are within the corridor, which are accessible within 10 to 30 minutes of their arrival in Jamaica. As soon as our attractions are being opened gradually, and so we can expect to have golf, fabulous shopping, wonderful beaches like the Doctor's Cave Beach in Montego Bay, which are all within the resort area of Montego Bay. There's also a variety of accommodations that you can choose from, whether you are in large all-inclusives or you wish to stay in smaller guest houses, apartments, whatever the type of accommodation that you feel more comfortable in, definitely Montego Bay has somewhere that you would like. Our next slide takes us into just some of the things to do in Montego Bay. Just give you a sense of the destination if you are looking for natural beauty or you're looking for family holidays. Definitely Montego Bay gives you something that you can sink your teeth into and really enjoy. It is indeed a complete resort. As we get into the next slide, you're going to see that food is big in Jamaica, and definitely you want to come into Montego Bay to just experience the local dishes across the different areas in Montego Bay. So if you're on property, definitely try to experience the Jamaica foods. Think about when you have Jamaica nights, experience some of our ackee and saltfish, our national dish, which was just listed in the world, among the world in the top 10 in the world. I think it's number 2. And of course, Devon House ice cream, listed at number 4 in the world. So these are some of the treats that you want to get into as you get into Jamaica to experience. Also, try enjoying rafting on the bamboo rafts. That's another exciting thing. Just remember, if you're going to be rafting, try to be on speaking terms with the person you're rafting with. The raft ride is really nice, but it can be a lonely endeavor if you are not on speaking terms. So remember that one as you send your clients into Jamaica or as you go yourself. Also, as you get in, think about craft items. Think about some items that you take back home just to remember your trip in Jamaica and to help you to plan your next trip as you get in. Try to enjoy some of our historical sites as you're there. So as the attractions begin to open and become available, we want to encourage you to seek them out, to encourage your clients to move off property and to just experience the total Jamaica as they're there. Negril, our next slide. It's also a wonderful resort area, and Negril is just about an hour, a little over an hour from Montego Bay. Negril offers you large and intimate hotel properties, fantastic beach. You have all of 7 miles of white sand beach that you can enjoy. Perfect for sun seekers, great for water sports, and certainly for sunsets. As you get by Rick's Cafe, you want to get there about 5:30 and just grab a good seat, have a good drink in your hand, and just watch and enjoy that sunset at about 6 o'clock. Really nice, really, and that orange glow that comes from the ocean is really warm, friendly, and inviting. So Negril offers you that kind of a place. And if you have a daring spirit, you could choose to do some of the other activities that happen at Rick's Cafe and the other properties on the cliffside of Negril. So you have a nice comparison. You have 7 miles of white powder sand beach, and you also have the rugged cliffs, both having their joys to be experienced. Also, as you get into Negril, think about enjoying family vacations, because Negril does offer that expanse. I personally vacation in Negril because the kids can have all 7 miles of beach to run. And the only challenge with that is that I have to be monitoring them and running after them. And so I get my exercise in and they get their fun running along the beach. So Negril does offer you that wonderful experience for every family member. And of course, those who can't run will sit and exercise just the same, turning the neck from side to side. So everybody gets a chance to enjoy Negril. Our next slide takes us into some of the other attractions that you can experience. You could get into beach park, adventure parks, you could swim with dolphins, you could be at the water park. And so as you get into the island, you find that there are several attractions within the areas that you can enjoy and that you can now feel a sense of really enjoying the island of Jamaica. So as it is now, the attractions are slowly opening, but as they begin to open more and more, you can now be aware that your clients will have these different choices heading on island. Once you leave Negril, you head into the south coast. The south coast of Jamaica is, of course, off the beaten path. It offers all your clients, oh boy, sorry, I missed this slide. It offers your clients, it's just over an hour if you're heading from Montego Bay. And of course, intimate hotel and inns, fantastic scenery, perfect for sun seekers and sunsets. Community tourism is big on the south coast, and definitely farm to table. You'll find that you select your meals from the garden, or you will have fresh fish. You can choose from, you can select from that for your meals and really have an exciting time having really fresh food from farm to table. I have to tell you this quick story. Let me see how much time I have. Appleton Estate, a fabulous tour you want to really partake of. My own experience, I went to Appleton, and as you get in, they offer you a rum drink. I'm thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a tour. I'm going to be walking for some time. So guess what? I asked them to give me a really strong drink. Well, I can tell you, I did not know that after such a wonderful educational tour, that at the end, they would ask you, or they give you an opportunity to taste the different rums they just taught you about. So, you know, I went in with a strong drink, and then I had a few more drink at the end. And by the way, you're supposed to only taste the rum in the glass. I didn't quite hear that, so I had the rum in the glass. So I can tell you this, my trip back from Appleton was much different from everybody else's. But Appleton Estate does give you a really fun educational tour that you should not miss on the South Coast. As we move to our next slide, we get into just ensuring that there's more on the South Coast than Appleton Rum. There is eco-adventure tours, and you will meet some really nice residents from the Black River. These are our Jamaican reptiles that you will encounter. You'll be in the boat, so not to worry, and they'll be glad to see you, so you don't need to worry about that either. And definitely, you want to just, if you're going to stay on the South Coast, just take advantage of the many intimate accommodations that just scatter the South Coast shoreline. We move to our next slide, and we look on some of the other attractions. One of them we want to point out is Pelican Bar. Interestingly, the Pelican Bar can only be accessed by boat. It is off the south coast of Jamaica, but it's a fabulous spot to go and just to enjoy a red stripe, just to enjoy good company of friends, and just to relax and feel the Caribbean sea breeze. That is something to look forward to as your clients get into Jamaica. The Black River Safari is also a fabulous attraction that takes you up the Black River and, of course, looks at indigenous wildlife and introduces you to the Jamaican landscape. We move to our next slide. And at this point, we're going to hand over to Victoria, who will tell us some more about the requirements now that are required to get into Jamaica. Victoria.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew. You certainly have let everyone know that Jamaica is the heartbeat of the world, and it truly has something for everyone. And as such, we want to speak now about our protocols that are in place And as Matthew noted, you know, Jamaica's tourism sector has reopened in phases, and it continues to do so in a very responsible manner. The measures that are in place are really to increase the destination assurance and the safety of everyone. So we do have an extensive set of health and safety protocols, and it runs about 8 chapters and 120 pages with detailed entry and screening procedures, and can be found online at jtbonline.org. And also our travel authorization guidelines and protocols can be found on visitjamaica.com. So as Matthew indicated, Jamaica's borders were open to all international travelers on June 15, 2020. And as such, there is a controlled entry program in place. So all travelers are required to get travel authorization to enter Jamaica. Now, this application for travel authorization can be found online on our website at visitjamaica.com, as well as all our current travel protocols that are in place. Please keep in mind they are subject to further review and therefore subject to change. They're currently in place through the period July 31st, 2020. Now, so you know, travel authorization can now be applied for up to 5 days prior to the intended date of departure to Jamaica. This was previously 3 days. Travelers that are residing in high-risk states, such as Arizona, Florida, New York, and Texas, are required to upload a negative COVID-19 PCR test result. Now, this has to be from a College of American Pathologists. It has to be CAP accredited, the medical laboratory, when applying for this travel authorization. The test must be taken within 10 days of the travel date. The exceptions to this would be business travelers and children under 12 years of age. All business travelers, regardless of their origin, will continue to be tested on arrival and must quarantine while awaiting their test result, which may take up to 48 hours. Just so you know, and we can move through with the slides, the approved travel authorization for residents from high-risk states will be valid for 11 days from the test date. For regular travelers, the validity will remain at 7 days from the date the application was approved. The high-risk state application will take up to 2 days for completion of assessment for approval or denial, while all other applications will continue to receive like an almost instant response. So in essence, you can go ahead, book that client's airline ticket. It is not required to book the airline ticket. The travel authorization is required to board the flight. And so you know, all persons arriving in Jamaica on island now will go through a health screening and risk assessment by the health authorities. As you can see here, we have 8 pillars in place, and these regulations are by the World Health Organization, and the health screening will include temperature checks, observation of symptoms, as well as a short interview with a health officer. All persons will also be required to go through a sensitization session that will advise them of the various prevention protocols within Jamaica, such as the washing of hands, the sanitizing of hands, the wearing of masks, and physical distancing. Now, most of the destinations, hotels, and resorts have reopened or in the process of reopening. And as we move through, we'll see that Jamaica's tourism resilient corridor, which would have been phase 1 of our tourism reopening, featured the 170-mile coastal tourist corridor, which is known as Jamaica's tourism resilient corridor. Okay, there we go. So that stretches from Negril in Westmoreland in the west, all along the island's north coast to Port Antonio, which is in the parish of Portland in the east. So it's encompassing those 4 resort areas of Negril, Montego Bay, Otros, and Port Antonio. And to date, over 113 tourism accommodations along this North Coast corridor, have been certified as COVID compliant. And as you would see, we're looking at phase 2 now, which phase 2A, which is a South Coast corridor, and that reopening features the area from Milk River in Clarendon all the way to Negril in Westmoreland. So you know, this corridor allows Jamaican authorities to have more or less a controlled environment within a tourism space where our guests can be. So during the tourist stay in Jamaica, the tourist is designated to a stay-in zone order, which speaks to a geographical area within this tourism resilient corridor. And of course, you know that Jamaica is well known for many famed attractions, and as of such, and as Matthew noted, as of July 21st, many of Jamaica's popular attractions have also reopened. If we go to the last slide with the protocols, we should be looking again at our Visit Jamaica website. Now, this is where the travel authorization form is obtained, visitjamaica.com. It also has a listing of all of the COVID compliant properties that are open, ready to welcome you. The travel authorization form is found on that Visit Jamaica site, as well as all of our updates. So at this point, yes, this is the website that we're showing you here. And you can go on, take a look. It's continuously updated. And remember now, we have 4 high-risk states that are required to upload a negative COVID-19 PCR test result that would have been taken within 10 days of the travel date. And those 4 high-risk states are Arizona, Florida, New York, and Texas. Other regular travelers from other states are not required to upload a negative test, but all travelers are required to have travel authorization to enter Jamaica. And as a reminder, the airline will not board the passenger without it. So as we move on to that last slide, we will continue to see why Jamaica truly is the heartbeat of the world. We have something for everyone, and we're ready and waiting to welcome your guests on island. Of course, you know, the diversity of the destination in itself, the largest English-speaking island in the Caribbean. I mean, the friendliest of people you'll ever meet. You know, we're known the world over for our warm Jamaican hospitality. And of course, the climate, you know, a balmy 82 degrees year round. And we can't speak about Jamaica without speaking about cuisine. You know, it's an award-winning destination. We've won best culinary destination, best wedding and honeymoon destination. And as Matthew first started out, we're easy to get to. From any of your Northeast gateways, a quick 3-hour, 20-minute flight. We're so proud that Southwest started back daily nonstop service out of BWI into Montego Bay. Don't forget about your daily nonstop United out of Newark as well. So we have the airlift in place, all your major carriers, your Delta, American through their major hubs with the connectivity, and JetBlue nonstop out of JFK, Boston also returned with the Saturday only. So very easy to get to. And of course, everybody's going to want that short, quick flight, and Jamaica has something for everyone. So I think we're almost at the end here.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you to our presenters. That was such incredible information. So now that we've heard from each of our presenters, I'm sure that a few of you must have some questions. So please continue to add your questions to the chat. If you look on the lower panel of your screen, there is a little question box. You can feel free to type your questions in there, and our panel will respond as appropriate. While we wait for some of those questions to come in, I just wanted to take some time to remind you all that booking with a AAA trusted travel advisor is a part of your membership benefits. Our team has the resources you need, from safety protocols to the best travel deals. So dollars off, upgrades, bonus perks are all yours to enjoy because you are a member. Our agents are available by phone, or you can set up an appointment today. So I have a couple of questions to kick us off. Matthew, I'm going to send this one to you. Someone is asking, when is the best time of year to visit Jamaica?
Okay, thanks, Megan. Jamaica has something for everyone all year round. So the best time of Jamaica really depends on what is it that you are thinking, and what kind of a vacation are you looking for. So are you looking for, say you want to get there in the cold months, so anywhere from, say, October onwards to about May. If you want to escape the cold, probably of northern New England, like where I am in Maine, then you might head to Jamaica in those months for the warmer climates and, of course, all the other activities that Jamaica has to offer. If you want to get into Jamaica just with a family at a time when the summer is raging and there are lots of activities, then you can go from April to October. Are you looking for weddings? Then, of course, in the springtime, the flowers are out, the place is bright, the pictures are going to be nice. You probably want to head there May to June, or a lot of folks head there in December for weddings as well. Do you want to head there for cultural events? Then you might want to get there in July to August, reggae some fests, our independence celebrations, a number of summer activities. Certainly that's a time to get there. I know a lot of persons choose January, February when it's really cold. Just head out and get 2 weeks, 3 weeks of really warm sunshine and head back into the US when it's getting, in March, it's getting, the winter is supposing to be ending. So Jamaica you can have a fabulous time in Jamaica all year round, just different experiences. And so you might choose to go to Jamaica all year round, trip after trip, year after year, just to experience a different side of Jamaica at the different times of year.
That's great. Thank you so much. Vanessa, I think I'm going to hand this one over to you. So someone is asking, where can we find updated information on travel restrictions to each island? So I know that you actually spoke of this before, but if you can remind everybody of where those resources can be found, that would be great.
Certainly. So you can find it in 2 locations. CaribbeanTravel.com is our consumer website where we have information from all of the destinations. And on the homepage, there is a little bit of a banner that indicates Caribbean Travel Update. That takes you to the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, or COVID resource page, and specifically to our travel advisory section, where we are keeping as current as the information is available to the outside world. We're keeping track of all of the requirements and the updates to the protocols, requirements, and any restrictions that are available. We also recommend as well that you visit, if there is a hotel or a destination that you're interested in visiting, that you peruse and look at their website as well. We've seen across the board, we understand that health and safety is paramount to all of the travelers. So destinations and properties alike have included all of the respective information about protocols, requirements, and what you can expect at the destination and property at their website. So again, it's CaribbeanTravel.com, which is our consumer website, and at CaribbeanHotelAndTourism.com, specifically under our COVID resource page under travel advisories.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. And just to piggyback off of that as well, as my colleague Meg had stated in the beginning of the presentation, your AAA Travel Advisor is a great resource for that information as well. Our AAA Travel Advisors are going through a Smart Depart training series to be Smart Depart certified, so they can help you find all of those resources as well. So it actually looks like those are all the questions that we have today. So we really appreciate all of you for joining us, especially to our panelists. Thank you for your transparency and the inspiring opportunities that you all shared. All of this information certainly has us all daydreaming about our next beach vacation. I don't know about you, but my bags are packed. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to our AAA Travel Advisors. You can find their information on the screen here. So you can reach them by email at AAA-traveladvisors@AAA-northeast.com, and a travel agent will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you all again, and I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.